The wealthy should pay their fair share.
Yes, wealthy should pay their fair share.
What is a fair share? What percentage?
So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share?
Their fair share, the same, if a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going to taxes. It does. Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not the poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? What fair share would you like to change the tax rate to on the wealthiest what percentage of Americans so it's a fair share?
So let's say the wealthy 1% could pay, let's say if they paid, let's just give them 45%.
That was painful to watch. So we have knuckleheads like that calling the shots on our economy. They allegedly misspend taxpayer money in their own offices to pay off their friends and loved ones. And they allegedly retaliate against whistleblowers. At least one man is doing what he can to stop these abuses in his own way on Capitol Hill by going after the Small Business Administration for allegedly granting over $200 billion in our money in potentially fraudulent loans during the COVID years. His bill would help maximize recovery efforts by, get this, protecting whistleblowers to come forward. I guess Fani Willis should take note of that. Joining us now to discuss is Republican U.S. Congressman Roger Williams, who represents the 25th Congressional District of Texas. He also serves as the chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Small Business. Chairman, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Great. So your bill is called the Put America on Commission Act. Can you explain for our audience exactly what it would do?
Well, it's pretty simple. The audience is certainly going to understand. I mean, I have a business background, still own a business. I'm in the car business. But we have $200 billion or maybe more money missing out of COVID funds in the SBA. They can't find it. It was paid to people that gave false Social Security numbers, identified themselves as being a different person. Even foreign nationals got some of the money, and that's taxpayers' money. Instead of writing that off, we passed a bill today. It was bipartisan, no votes against it, to put America on commission. And what I mean by that is we want people to identify where this money may be, bring it back to us, and get paid commission. Just like any business in America on Main Street, we all basically work on commission. This gives every person in America the opportunity to help us find this stolen money, bring it back, get paid 10%. Pretty good bill. And I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of it. And I'm not so sure some of those people who stole the money wouldn't bring it back for 10%.
You know, it sounds like a good deal to me, right? And that's what we need, some level-headed common sense back in Congress. Right. You know, especially these last few years, we've seen some of the exposés on the money that was taken in these fraudulent COVID, these different programs that were exploited. And you would see people, they'd buy exotic fancy cars, luxury watches, designer clothes. Right. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Now, you also know that the Office of the Inspector General, when they, look through the SBA and all these funds, what they were saying is that the casework, it would be backlogged by 100 years, which is obviously a huge amount of time. None of us has that kind of time on our hands. So do you think by, protecting whistleblowers, encouraging them to come forward, that will really help to mitigate some of that time?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if we leave it up to the Inspector General, I can't tell how many people they got, but let's just say they got 1,000 people. Well, if when we do our bill that we just passed and get it into law, we're going to have 300 million people out there trying to find this money, and we'll pay them for it. So it's going to speed the process up. It's going to get everybody involved. And the truth of the matter is, when the Inspector General identified 200 billion, they also told us that it could be even as much as 600 billion. So this is an unbelievable number. It's money that's owed the taxpayers. And unfortunately, government would want to take that and just kind of write it off at $100,000 a lick. Well, that $100,000 is a lot of money to most people. And that's why we need to identify where this money is, get it, pay the whistleblower the 10% commission, and see if we can't get some of this money back that belongs to taxpayers.